Hey everybody, happy Monday. So day 15, we're halfway through the challenge. So I wanted to hear in the comments about what insights have you found? What changes have you found, in your feelings, in your reality? What have you observed in these past 15 days just by being aware, by seeing things that you didn't see before, a new perspective? I want to hear from you. And I can't tell you how many I've had. Holy shit. Just going along this with you guys, I feel like I am unlocking so much more. And I truly believe that that's just the mastermind factor, right? So it's like when you're in a group like this, you all connect. Even if we're not verbally talking, we are all connecting on the same wavelength, and we are upgrading together. And that's why I love challenges. That's why I love group coaching. It's my favorite. But I'm super stoked about how far I've come in the past 15 days personally. So with that, I want to talk about today's challenge. And as the title says, unfuckwithable. I love that word. So becoming unfuckwithable. Before we get into that though, I want to talk briefly about control. Isn't it funny how the more you try to control something, the more it controls you? And I've experienced this firsthand, especially this past couple days, of how much I was still trying to control things, but they were really controlling me. You see, we seek this sense of control for power, because we feel like we have to control things to have freedom. But really, it takes our freedom away. And this is very key when you are trying to step into healing and creating your own reality. Because what happens is when you are trying to control your reality, control other people, control outcomes, control your feelings and path of healing, and controlling all that is saying is you don't trust yourself to experience all of yourself. Because that is really why we are here. That is why we have this physical reality. It is a mirror. It is allowing us to dive deeper within ourselves. But myself included, I would often get super nervous if there was something unexpected that popped up. Like someone surprised me to go do something and I felt unprepared. Or I would try to control how people saw me by changing who I was or being quiet and just trying to manipulate in that way. Because I didn't feel confident in those parts of myself coming up to fully feel. But it wasn't until I finally just kept hitting this wall in one area of my life that I was avoiding. This part of me that just felt way too painful to even touch. And it wasn't until I just sat there and just said, like, fuck it. Let's feel this. Let's explore this part of me that wants to be heard and seen. And it was then I realized that underneath that pain was love. Underneath that fear was freedom. And me trying to control all of these aspects of my life was really just me trying to run from myself, making me feel even more unloved and unaccepted by me. And I can't tell you how tiring it is to constantly try to manipulate your reality and try and make sure everything goes in order. That's exhausting, and it's the opposite of freedom. What freedom is opening yourself up to all of yourself. Because I promise you, healing takes place not when you're trying to control it, not when you're doing all these modalities and trying only to feel certain things. It happens when you realize, when you hit that wall and you're like, oh man, I really fucked up. What did I do? What did I do again? And you finally just are able to surrender with yourself. It happens in those moments, those little moments. It doesn't happen planned. You cannot control healing. Healing happens naturally, just like your heart pumps, just like your hair grows, your everything in your body. You don't control it, it happens. And you are always healing from every experience, because every experience is for you. It's to explore all parts of yourself, to experience both the unconscious and conscious parts of yourself, the unwanted and wanted. Because every part of you is a breadcrumb leading you back home, leading you to experiencing the whole part of yourself. And since your reality is a mirror, when you open yourself up to all of yourself, you open yourself up to all epic experiences in your reality, because it's just a mirror. Everything you want, a desire, is just a part of yourself that you want to experience. So if we're always hiding from our emotions, trying to control them, we're blocking ourselves. We're holding ourselves a hostage to our feelings, to other people. And that's why it feels so terrible, like you're in a prison within yourself. But when you finally reach that point where you're like, fuck this, I want freedom. Because that's what we really want. We want freedom. We want to feel supported and accepted. But you have to be willing to do that with yourself first. And that is what this whole challenge is about. These first 15 days have been all baby steps leading you to this point. For me too. When you finally can sit with all of yourself and realize that you are the container of all these versions of you. You are the God of your universe, which is inside of you. So when those parts of you that come up, that you want to shy away from, that you want to be the victim, that you want to just push aside, can you just, for a moment, just stop and listen? Can you feel that energy, that pain, and understand that when you just shine light on it, when you just be aware of it, it naturally wants to break open. And inside of that is that version of you that's been waiting to be expressed and seen, waiting to be experienced, a reality waiting to be experienced. You know, like I said before, fear, underneath that is freedom. It's all love in disguise. And as lame as that sounds, it's true. Because I experienced this firsthand. And that is how you become unfuckwithable, as the title says. You're willing to see all of yourself. You're willing to allow that shit to move through you so you can crack a new version of you open. So it becomes less about trying to fix your reality or fix yourself. And instead, choosing each day to experience a new part of yourself. And that is what it means to live from the inside out. It's an inward journey. It's always about you. So one thing that I want you to practice today is, instead of looking at your reality as coming at you, start to observe your reality in the way of everything and everyone is mirroring back to you a version of yourself that wants to be seen and felt. So if someone cuts you off in traffic, I always go back to that because it happens so frequently. What do you feel in that experience? What part of you is coming out to be seen and felt? Because that is all your reality is trying to do. That is all your higher self is trying to do. It's getting you to realize those dope-ass parts of yourself that are covered up by all the stuff you're not willing to feel. Those versions of you that want to be felt and seen just so they can come home. Just so they don't need to be hidden anymore. Because once you experience those, once you heal them, they will no longer have a need in your reality to be expressed. And that is how you control your reality. That is the free will. That is your choice in every moment. So that is why today I want you to start practicing seeing others as a mirror for yourself. Don't see them as coming at you. Don't play the victim. Can you just sit with that energy? And instead of seeing it as coming as a bad thing, literally feel yourself absorbing that energy. It powers you. You feed off that energy. And then see yourself as this light inside of you, just blasting that shit open. I did it myself, and I promise you this shit works. It sounds really out there, but just close your eyes, open them if you need to, listen to music. When you feel those emotions coming up, don't try and change them. Just see yourself absorbing all that love and light out of it. And what's left? As I said before, underneath that fear is love. It's freedom. It's that part of yourself that has been waiting to come out. An experience in your reality waiting for you to be called. And that is when you become unfuckwithable. When you're no longer you're no longer afraid to experience and accept all of yourself. So you can walk into any new experience and not feel like you need to control it. It's just an experience calling out parts of you that want to be expressed. And it's not always going to be a bad one. When you're in fear mode trying to resist those parts of yourself, that's what you attract. But when you become open to it all of it, and understand that you can transmute any of that energy just by feeling it. You don't got to do shit with it. You don't got to know the answers. You just got to be, oh, hey, I'm feeling this. How can I absorb this? How can I let this move? If it doesn't go away right away, don't freak out. Just sit with it. Allow it to be there. Ask how your higher self would say about this or feel about this. But know it's just energy. It's physics. Energy wants to move. You can't change it, but you can call in new energy. You can clear it out. And you don't have to do anything about it, but just decide. Decide that you want freedom. Decide that you want to be supported. Focus on those two energies, and your life will change. But when you find yourself trying to control other people to avoid how you feel about yourself, that's holding you hostage. It's not your lack of control. It's you trying to control. So practice that today and see what you find. I'm sure you'll be amazed about how much better you feel going into new situations, knowing that you can handle it all, because it's all inside of you. And all you gotta do is acknowledge the feelings and let them go. Don't try and analyze it. So I hope that helps today. Drop a comment if you resonate with this, if you have insights that come up. DM me or comment below. I love to hear from you all. And, we're halfway through. Let's see what else comes up. I'm excited. Thanks for the support. See you next time.